महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि महादेवमुदं शिरसा नमामि महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि. If you look at the topic arrangement of the entire Bhagavad Gita, it's very easy to recognize this type of arrangement. The arrangement is the first 6 chapters form one topic. The second 6 chapters form another topic. A third 6 form again a third topic. All the 3 make one topic, understand? It is a 3 topics within a given topic. Suppose you are giving an equation. In an equation, there are 2 sides. When these 2 sides are the same, then only it's an equation. So in this Vedantic equation, this is ultimate equation. You are the cause of this entire world, Brahman. So the cause of this entire world, Brahman, is Ishvara. You, the Vachya, Pada Vachyam, the immediate meaning of the word you is individual Jiva. This individual Jiva who thinks that I am, because of loss I am born here, and I can trace the causes for my birth in this particular form. From different models, I can come up with different answers. But then there is a cause-effect relationship recognizable in this body-mind sense complex, confined individual Jiva. The Jiva's being here. And this fellow is told, you are Ishvara, cause of this entire world. There cannot be anything more, more improbable, impossible than this. Then you have to define what is Ishvara. You say cause of this entire world means all-knowing, all samarthya, means whom you say Almighty. This Almighty also I am not very happy with. Sarva Shakti, a source of all Shakti, Srishti Shakti, Sthiti Shakti, Samhara Shakti. Somebody has a capacity to create but cannot run, cannot sustain. Somebody can sustain if you create and give. They are called babysitters. And therefore, so these kind of babysitters are there. So you create and give, then they can run it. But they can't start and initiate a huge project. And somebody is very good in initiating projects but cannot run. And some people can create and run, but they can never withdraw. So it grows so much that you cannot get rid of it. So if you are so involved, then it becomes a Frankenstein. You have no control over it. And thus you find this Srishti Sthiti Samhara Samarthyam. That is why Lord is called Dakshinaha, Dakshaha. Dakshinamurti has got another meaning like that. So Dakshinaschaso Amurtischa Dakshinamurti. He is Srishti Sthiti Samhara Samarthaha. Essentially formless. Amurtischa Dakshinamurti. So thus you have this samarthya, the one who has got, which Almighty doesn't imply. Almighty means it. So a mafia don is mighty and God is almighty. That's all. Muscle power. This almighty becomes a muscle power. And therefore, you have to explain this almighty. Therefore, I have got some reservation about that word. So the better I say Sarva Shaktihi. That is descriptive. It's not some kind of a admiration born word. It is very descriptive, objective. Sarva Shaktihi. And then who is Sarvajnaha? Sarvam Janati iti Sarvajnaha. So Sarvajnatvam, Sarva Shaktimatvam. So this all must be there in that Ishvara. So if that is Ishvara, then telling me I am that Ishvara is either you are interested to destroy my sanity. Correct? Because if I believe you, then I go about saying I am Ishvara. Well, then we have to keep the fellow under sedation. It's a delusion. It is a delusion if the jiva, the vachya, the pada vachya. Vachya means the immediate meaning of the word is called vachya. And the implied meaning of the word is lakshya. And therefore, like the energy matter equation, energy has got a pada vachya. Matter has got pada vachya. Vachya vedaha. In the vachya, if you take matter is tangible and this is not tangible at all, how this can be that? You have got problems. But the vachya always has got difference. But essentially speaking, the truth is there is no difference, abheda. Therefore, this is called Veda Abheda. Difference is obvious, non-difference is not obvious. Therefore, the individual and what we say Ishvara, the Lord, so the difference is obvious. And if there is a non-difference, that is not obvious at all. And that is what the teaching is about. And for which, so the individual in the Vachyartha, Ishvara, the all-knowing, Jiva, the individual small knowing, the small knowing cannot be all-knowing. Understand? The all-knowing cannot be small knowing. And therefore there is, so mutual opposition is there. Viruddhartha, opposed meanings are there. Small meaning, small knowing, all knowing. No small knowing is all knowing. And therefore, no reconciling is possible. All religions fall within this alone. Understand? Understand? This is what they talk about. God is all-knowing, almighty, and He is somewhere and all that. This is what they talk about. Now, this is not totally true. Ishvaratvam is mithya. Jivatvam is mithya. And because both are mithya, the difference between the two cannot be satyam. And that needs to be explained a little bit. Now suppose this some gadabud ho gaya sir. Oh. No, I have a... Adu illa. Small. My small fellow is gone. So, okay. All right. It's okay. No problem. I've got another fellow. So this is good enough. I was looking for a small fellow, not available. So this is okay. This is okay. And look at this one. Difference is obvious, correct? This fellow can go inside. So this is small fellow. Sitting by this fellow, this has got a complex which is unavoidable. I am small. Look at this fellow. Look at his mouth, my God. Look at this. Wow. This is a big-bellied fellow. Look at me. I am such a small little fellow. Then I say, hey, you are clay. I make him understand you are clay. It took a long time. Already this fellow is clay. Already this fellow is clay. And then I have to make him understand you are clay. And then the buddhi also is clay. So buddhi is clay. And the truth is clay. So it's very difficult to make this fellow understand. But I did make him understand you are clay. Then finally he understood, yeah, I am clay. The weight of me is the weight of clay. If you touch me, you touch clay. You put me anyway, it is clay. You break me, still I will be clay. Wow, I am clay. Not only you are clay, the other fellow also is clay. The big fellow. He is also clay? Yeah. What else he is? He is clay. Big fellow is clay. Come on, don't you see? He is clay. Oh, then what is bigness? The bigness is only partness. The big part it is. Big partness, you have got small partness. So big partness is the quality of clay. Small partness is the quality of clay. How can clay have two opposite qualities? This big partness quality and small partness quality, how can clay have? No, you understand. Clay doesn't have them. Oh, you are talking Vedanta now. What Vedanta? You are contradicting yourself. That is called Vedanta. See, look at this. You are confusing me. Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhi mohayasi. You are contradicting yourself. You say that it is the big partness is the quality of clay. Then small partness also is the quality of clay. This is big and small at the same place, at the same locus. Kya baat hai? One side I can understand. It is something like, one side it is one color and another side and another color. Like these days, when they wear a shirt, we do not know whether it is orange, whether it is blue, or it is because here one patch, there another patch. They dip it and take it. I don't know how. So this is some kind of a dye. But they all have places. But here, the clay itself, you say, has got two qualities contradictory, small and big. They don't have the qualities. Why? Because clay has got clayness, not partness. Understand? If it has got partness, then what will you say for this? What will you say for this? These are all new arrivals, okay? So what will you say for this? What will you say? This is called leadness. The lidness is not the quality of clay. Therefore, potness also is the quality of clay. But you cannot put this lidness elsewhere except in clay. You can't put the potness elsewhere except in clay, here. Therefore, we have to say this potness, small, big, etc., are a superimposed, in other words, mithya attributes. The superimposed, I don't care, mithya is better. They are incidental attributes, that would be better. You are not superimposing anything here. It is not akasmat, it is not without a reason. You have a certain empiricality about it. It can hold water, certain ounces of water, but this one cannot hold those ounces of water. Understand? Therefore, there is an empiricality here. This will go inside, but that cannot go inside here. And therefore, the difference is obvious. One is small, the other is big. But the smallness and bigness are incidental attributes. They are mithya attributes because they don't count. What counts is only clay. Understand? What counts is clay. So how do you say, Swamiji? You can understand this? Now there are, how many you have here? Tell me now. So I have, how many now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Understand? Then count clay. How many clays? 1 clay, 2 clay, 3 clay, 4 clay. Then do you know what I will do? I am from Himalayas, I count differently afterwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Like this fellow bought 3 donkeys. He came home. He came home with these 3 donkeys. He in fact went there with money to buy 2 donkeys. He got cheaply 3 good donkeys, healthy donkeys, and he came home. Because they do, in Ahmedabad, they do jobs, make money. So they take all this, the sand and all that from the riverbed. Sabarmati so gives only sand, not water at any time. And therefore, so occasionally water comes. So this, every day you can see them in Ahmedabad early morning. You may get up later, they get up early, and they do this sand carrying work. You earn money for the owner. It's a wonderful business. 3 donkeys he got. And then it was a long distance from the donkey market, they have got shandy. They call it shandy, like flea market. So donkeys, you bring these donkeys, he bought the donkeys, and then he was riding 1 donkey. And then afterwards, he came home. His wife was waiting for him, and she was so happy seeing 3 donkeys. He went with money for 2 donkeys, and 3 donkeys have come. She was so happy. And this fellow was still riding the donkey. And then he saw the donkey, counted the donkey. There are only 2 donkeys. And then she asked, then he told, hey, I bought 3 donkeys. I've got only 2 donkeys. Where is the 3rd donkey? I don't know where I left the donkey. He's still on the donkey. And therefore she said, did you buy 3? He said, yes. He said, yes, I bought 3. I see 4. You understand now. So you have a very clear understanding of 5 here. Now you know. So 3, 4, 5. If you count clay, it is only 1 clay. Understand this. There is no multiplicity. Therefore, one who knows I am clay doesn't count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when he counts, it's different. It is different. It is everybody who knows something about number knows this. Number is just another myth it is. Really, you have to decide what is the set you are counting. One universe, correct? Only one universe. Plus you who is aware of the universe. We swallow that universe also afterwards. So the number is the greatest myth. And based upon number, anything that you create is also another myth it is. But it works, okay? It works. 1 plus 1, 2. But you should decide what? 1 plus 1, 2. Decide the set. 2 members of the same set. If you understand this, then here also that Ishwaratvam, like the partners, big partners, small partners, are incidental attributes. Ishwaratvam is an incidental attribute and or a mithya attribute, that is better, and Jivatvam also is mithya attribute. Therefore, mithya Jivatvam, mithya Ishwaratvam, between the two there is difference, all-knowingness, small-knowingness, and the difference between the two is also what? Difference between this and the other is also what? Mithya. The difference is mithya. This is what is called Advaita. The difference is mithya. We are not afraid of difference. Difference makes life. And therefore, difference is not a problem. In fact, differences alone are creation. The chromosome difference, cells difference. Thank God cells are different. Kidney cells are different from brain cells. Even if they are different, their brains don't work as they should work. And therefore, suppose kidney cells become brain cells. Think of that. Think of that. Something like, same thing, just make the same thing. Then what will happen? It's a problem. I can't imagine, okay? And therefore, so cells, they're all cells anyway. Differences constitute the beauty of creation. Differences exist. Differences are the whole creation, the whole knowledge is nothing but knowledge of differences. And the knowledge is incomplete. And if you say knowledge of differences and you take yourself as one among the many different things that are there, then you become small. You become insignificant. And then you try to become significant. You dye your hair green. That's all what you can do. If it is there. Or you bring the 12 pieces of hair that are here, bring it to the other side. Other side, with a lot of, you put something, you put some oil or whatever, then bring it there so that they stay. They stay put. That's otherwise different. This is that you take the difference as a reality, but you forget, you say, I am this. In this individual itself, there are differences. Eyes are different from ears. Who are you? Are you the eyes, or are you the ears? Are you the cell, or what? What is it? Are you DNA? What you are? Bunch of cells you are. And then again, there are so many cells. Then where is the eye? There is no eye anywhere. The whole blessed thing is mithya. It declares every moment we are mithya, we are mithya. And therefore the difference between Ishvara and Jiva is mithya. Why? Because Ishvara, when you say, don't say Ishvara is mithya. Ishvaraha is Brahman plus Ishvaratvam. Ishvaratvam is mithya. Never say Ishvara is mithya. You are wrong. You are throwing away the baby along with the water. There is no mithya without Satyam. Where mithya is, there the Satyam is. The distance between mithya and Satyam is nil, zero. Only your knowledge makes you see both. Ubayorapi drishtontaha anayoho tattvadarshibhihi Satyam and mithya. And therefore, between these two sides of the equation, one is Ishvara Tatpada, Tat Tvamasi in this Tat. The first one is Tvam, and therefore problem doesn't belong to Tat, and therefore Tvam Asi. The teaching is not for Ishvara, understand? We are not, Ishvaraha is all, he told. So Ishvara is addressed. Oh Ishvara, you are what? Tvam. Tvamasi. Tvamasi what? Tat what? Tvam is addressed. Ishvara is paroksha for the time being. Is not known to you. Therefore, Tvamasi, you are. I am what? You have to complete the sentence. Suppose you say, you are, means what? I don't say anything means what? You will complete the sentence. I know what you wanted to say. If you know that's it, okay, fine. But no, anyway, what I wanted to say. You wanted to say I am an idiot. That's all what you wanted to say? No, I wanted to say you are an angel. I'm an angel? Yeah, even angels are idiots. Don't you know that? What I say, think it over. But so this is just according to your complexes, your problems, your agonies. All these will make out of the unsaid word a word, correct? That's all what it is. You will make a word for yourself and suffer from it. You are. It's a very dangerous expression. You are. Don't say anything further. It's incomplete sentence. Everybody will take it in her own way. Therefore, you should make the sentence complete. Silence doesn't make anything. Suppose you ask me, what is God? Means what? God is dumb. Understand? Don't ask questions. Each one will take it, or they will say, this man doesn't know the meaning. Doesn't know what is God, therefore he kept silent. Because maunam sarvartha sadhanam. When you don't know anything, keep quiet. In fact, that is better. They will think that you are a very profound person. You know, you will not be found. You will be profound, understand? You will be profound. That's how it is. A lot of people become profound. Don't say much. Arjuna asked a question. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha. Even Krishna's eyes all open. And wow, what I hear. This Arjuna asking a question. Krishna never used this kind of words. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha. Samadhistasya keshava. Wow, wonderful. What a question. If you want a student, this must be the student. What a great question. Because he uses a word prajna, sthita prajna, etc. It's wonderful word. Ka bhasha. Samadhistaha. It's all wonderful word. Means, what is the description of a person whose prajna, whose knowledge is unassailed? Knowledge which doesn't leave anything to be desired. That person is called sthita prajna. How would you, what is the description of sthita prajna? It's a beautiful question. It is not a question based upon the words used by Krishna. It is his own coinage. So that shows the fellow has been thinking. He is creative until he explained the question. Yeah. Appuram chappu. Like my, it is all like my, that cracker. You remember the cracker? The big, mean-looking cracker. And this single one, called Vattavadi. And looks very big, and then it has got a long wick and all that, and you light it and run away. And it is going to go off now, because it takes some time. And then it stops, and it comes, and it stops, and it comes. Now it's going to come, it will go. It does. What is the outcome? Outcome is that's all the outcome. That's exactly what happened to Radha Krishna. He was so enthralled by seeing this in my imagination. By looking at, because I am enthralled by seeing the first line. When I come to the second line, sthita prajnasya ka bhasha, samadhistasya kesava, sthita dihi, that's also wonderful. Sthita dihi, kim asita, kim vrajeta, kim prabhasheta. ஐயோ அப்பா ஏண்டா உனக்கு இதெல்லாம் உனக்கு போய் வேதாந்தம் சொல்றேன். I am teaching you Vedanta here in the battlefield. நம்முடைய கர்மா. Sthitadihi kim prabhasheta. Prabhasheta kim? Katam prabhasheta. How will he talk? Will he talk slow? If he talks, Sthita Prajna is talk slow, every Texan will be a Sthita Prajna. He talks slow. Will he talk fast? Every auto salesman will be a Sthita Prajna. Who is a Sthita Prajna? Does he sit? How does he sit? How does he sit? You sit like this? Very relaxed. It's not relaxed. After 3 minutes you will have problem here. How does he sit? How does he walk? All irrelevant questions. First question was good. Therefore what I say, Maunam Sarvartha Sadhanam. Without talk is good. Therefore the Tattvamasi, Tvamasi is the main word. You are. Then afterwards it has to be filled. That is said, Jagat Karanam Yat Satyam Sadvastu Tat Tadvastu Brahmatvamasi Tat Tvamasi. This is how, what is the cause of this entire world called Sat, which is Brahma, Ekam Advitiyam, one non-dual, that is you, that you are. Understand? And therefore, in the first 6th chapter, he is talking about the Tvam, Arjuna's sorrow, Arjuna's predicament, Arjuna's dharma confusion, what is right wrong confusion, Arjuna's thinking that what is this, all this life I have lived all these years, now I cannot even decide what is right here, what kind of learning I have got. Arjuna was not whipping himself because the whip was in Krishna's hands. That was the situation. Then Arjuna said, Krishna, please tell me now at least, what is Shreyas? Shishyasteham. It is a Tvampadartha, Tvampada Vachya. Sannyasa is for Jiva. Karma Yoga is for Jiva. And therefore you find the whole Jnana Karma Sannyasa, Sannyasa Yoga, Dhyana, meditation, Atma Samstham Manakritva, Nakinchidapi Chintayet. Everything is Jiva, the Tvampada is the Pradhana. Tvampada Pradhana means the equation is talked about highlighting the meaning of the Jiva, the individual. Highlighting. There is always, in all the chapters you find there is a completion. But the highlighting is Tvampada, the meaning of you. In the seventh chapter onwards, you can see the seventh chapter completely changes. Total change. Suddenly Lord Krishna talks about the Ishvara. He talks about bhakti. Ishvara is the pradhana. He says, Paraprakriti, Aparaprakriti. Untouched so far in the first 6 chapters. Mahaganapatin Manasa Smarami Mahadeva Mudam Shirasa Namami Mahaganapatin Manasa Smarami.